Hi everybody, so today for the very first time for me I'm trying a full face of Ilia makeup. I recently tried just a couple of things from Ilia which really impressed me, so I decided to go fully in, take a deep dive and buy pretty much everything I could so I can do a full face, which is this full face you are seeing right now. So I can't wait to show you this. This is just me being relaxed, trying it on, not going into great depth about products, but just relaxing and enjoying it. So if you've got Ilia makeup or any makeup and you want to just sit down and join me and try on your makeup and we can look at the brand and see how it works and how the product work together. That's really the idea of this video. I'm really excited about trying this, and I've already done it, but trust me, it was lovely. I really enjoyed it. Slight spoiler alert. So I can't wait for you to see this. And if you're new here, hi, my name is Hannah. I'm 48. I'm not a professional. I'm just somebody who really loves makeup and beauty. And here on my channel, I show you the latest releases, my favorite looks, and give you any beauty news you might be interested in. If you think you'd enjoy that content, I'd be absolutely delighted if you did subscribe to my channel. Lots of people tune in without subscribing, so if you could, that would be ever so helpful. Plus you won't miss future videos from me, especially if you hit the notification bell as well. If you're already subscribed, welcome back. Thank you so very much for being here. And my skin tone for looking at all these shades today, I've got fair to light skin with predominantly cool undertones that do lean a bit neutral. And I've also got blue eyes. I've also got combination skin, which is predominantly dry with a slightly oily T-zone. But anyway, that's enough information about me, and let's start looking at the brand Ilia. Just quickly before I start my review, I'm going to take this off now, but I just wanted to show this to you because some of you might have seen that I do actually crochet as a hobby, and I have sometimes put short reels up showing you things I've created, and one of the things I like to make the most are shawls. So the most recent one you've seen was for my friend. She chose the colours and I made it for her. But this is one of the ones I made for myself, and because some of you have asked me to wear it in my videos, I don't like to wear them when I'm actually applying makeup because these are hand wash only and they take me about 6 months because I don't have much time. So I would never apply my makeup whilst wearing it, which is why I don't. So I just thought I'd start the video wearing this one to show you. So this one is all sorts of different colours, so if I stand up and show you it from the front, I'm not sure if I turn now, if you'll see the back properly. Trying to see in my monitor at the same time. Yeah, I think that roughly shows you. They're all the colours. I love this. I just think it's so cheerful. Obviously I have to be a bit careful with what I'm mixing it with because of the amount of colour. That's often my problem with things. I always go for the colour mixes that I love, and I love florals, but then I think, what am I going to wear them with? What do they match with? But anyway, this matches with all sorts of things if I keep it simple, so I have to have simple. But anyway, this is my shawl. Do you know what? I haven't even worn it out. I keep forgetting to wear it out, and I do think it is beautiful. It's quite warm, but obviously it's got the little holes in it, so it's probably more summer, but cool summer I'd say, because it really does give me quite a lot of warm coverage. But anyway, thank you to everyone who's shown an interest in my hobby, which I do most days, even if it's just for 5 minutes, because you'll find it so relaxing, so therapeutic, and I love mixing all these different colours together. Anyway, this is my latest shawl that I made for me, but I finished it either the start of this year or the end of last year, I can't remember. But anyway, if you want to see my other shawl I made, I uploaded a reel recently with another shawl. I don't do it for business, it's purely for pleasure. I take way too long to do it for business. My production line would be 2 a year, I think. So anyway, there we are. Let's move on to the Ilia review. So I'm starting with an extremely blank face. I don't even have skincare or eyebrows on, which I very rarely do. And I'm going to go through these products one by one, but I'm not going to go into prices, product details. I just want to quickly try these on a full face, just giving you my first impression. So if you've got a big face of Ilia with you, or any of your other makeup, and you want to join me in trying on my makeup, then please do sit down and get ready with me, because I would love that. But this one is just going to be more simple, and like I said, not going into details. But if you did want any information on these products, I will be linking them all below so you can read more on their website, but also you can ask me and I can look into it for you, and I'd be happy to help. So I've got nothing on my face now. I'm going to start with this, which is the Ilia Face Base Milk. So I've been told that this one is better than my Holy Grail, which is the Road Glazing Milk. So let's see what my first impression is of this one. So here it is. It feels very nice actually. I just love these milks to start. I think that when you start with these, your skincare and everything else just sits more beautifully and gets absorbed better. It's almost like the first step to lock everything in. I do like it. Do I like it more than Rude? I don't know if it's quite as silky. I don't know, it feels very, oh, it feels nice. So I will swap out my Rude for this one for a while, I think. I can always let you know. Do you use this one? I just put a little bit of my Rhode one into my hand. I think the Rhode one is ever so slightly more creamy, ever so slightly, which probably means I won't prefer it, the Ilia, because I love the creaminess of Rhode, but they're very close. And I had to use a little bit more of the Ilia, but anyway, I really like it, I do. So it's a good one, whether it's my favourite, time will tell. I don't have any more skincare of theirs, so I'll put the rest of my skincare on and then we'll look at the eyebrow. In fact, let me do the eyebrow now and I'll put the rest of my skincare on as that's setting down. So I've got the Micro Tip Brow Pencil in Soft Brown. I love Micro Tips, and my current favourite I've been using every day recently is Merit. When they first launched the Merit, I used it every day until it ran out, and I recently replaced it, so I'm just going to compare the shades. It's not as cool tones as the Merit, so I'm not going to like this as much shade wise, that's for sure. There's the Merit, and here is the Ilia. Soft brown is definitely too warm, but anyway, I will just give it a go for today. So you can see there it's a super fine tip. Problem is I'm not going to like it with the shade, but anyway. Feels a little bit more dry than the Merit one, so it's sort of not as creamy and easy to apply, but that might mean that it lasts a bit longer as well. Definitely a bit more dry. Actually the shade isn't terrible on me. It'd be interesting to see how it looks on camera. Often I think things look okay and then I look back at the edit and I'm like, oh gosh, no, it's too late. But in my mirror, maybe that doesn't look too bad. I know the Merit is quite dark on me. I've quite liked going that dark, but maybe this is more my true shade. What do you think of that? This is the bit here I need to fill the most because I've got nothing going on here eyebrow hair wise really. I quite like that. I'll just do the other side. Yeah, that's not too bad. I found it a little bit dry though, not creamy enough, but the shade is actually not that bad. What do you think? It's just a very rough application, not a very careful one. I'll go off and finish the rest of my brows, the rest of my skincare, and then we can move to the next product, which I think is going to be the Complexion, so foundation and skin tint. So I'll see you for that. So skincare is on, some eyebrow gel, a bit of concealer underneath, and I've got two Complexion products. I've got the Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint, which has an SPF 30, and I've got this stick. I'm a bit confused because it's got a bump in it. Should it have a bump in it? Because it was very black as well, I had to clean it, so I don't know if this has got damaged, but anyway. This is the Skin Rewind Complexion Stick. I've got this in 5C Pine, so I'm going to try both of these. Oh, I don't know about that colour. I love the way it says Ilia on the top of the stick, look. That's... My camera doesn't want to focus on it, but that's quite cool. I really don't think this is going to be the right shade for me. Have I written down what shade that is? 5C, very light with cool undertones. Okay, let me just swatch this. Very light. I don't know. Okay, well, let's just find out. So I don't have any primer on. I'm just going with skincare today, which we'll test this on its own, I suppose. It feels really, really, really lightweight. That's why I'm being quite generous with it. I'll get my Refa brush, I think. So maybe that tone does work for me. So this is a bit like the Merit stick, I suppose, but it's not quite as creamy. It is correct in redness. I think the shade does work. A lot of that's to do with how sheer it is. Not wowed, but it is giving quite a nice natural finish. I don't really want to go in for any more because I feel like I've put quite a lot on anyway. So that is pretty much, I think, the intention of the product. I don't think it's intended for you to put multiple layers on. So that's a light coverage. It's corrected redness a bit. If you look at the side I haven't done, but it hasn't done an awful lot. Anyway, let's look at the skin tint on the other side, the SPF 30. And I would imagine with the skin tints, I'll give it a shake, it would give less coverage. So can it get much lighter than that? Let's see. So I've got this one in the shade 30 Balos, which is ST3, very light with cool undertones. So it should have a similar, it's got a dropper. Here's I'm just putting a full dropper on the back of my hand to show you. I'll take this with my fingers. Gosh, this looks like it's more coverage to me. Is the complexion stick meant for things like concealing? I don't know. I would love to know how you use it. I would imagine the word complexion stick for me means it could be multi-purpose, a bit like the Merit. Oh, this is much nicer. This is giving the radiance with a bit of coverage. It's got a bit of a strange smell, which I don't like. Almost a bit painty. I'm being a bit whingy today, aren't I? Nothing has been a wow so far, but at the same time I think that looks really nice. I love that compared to the other side. And I haven't taken much from the amount I put on the back of my hand there. I'm using exactly the same brush here, so there is a bit of crossover between the two, but as I said, this isn't like a detailed review. This is very much sitting down with you and trying this together and seeing what we think. Oh, that is really nice. I think that's given much better coverage than this side. In fact, I'm going to now take some of this onto this side. I just think it's much nicer. In fact, it's a lovely skin tint. I think the only problem I have with it is the fragrance. And obviously it's got SPF, which I'm happy with. I don't mind adding on top of my SPF. So it's got that SPF 30. That's a very nice skin tint. Very nice. Oh, I'm much happier now with that side. Well, I don't have any sort of contour, but I do have their bronzer, which is a cream bronzer. This is the Ilia Sunshift, and I've got this in the shade Eclipse, which is the lightest shade, and it is quite warm for me. This is a peachy bronze, so I can't really use this as a contour, and it is very warm, to be fair. They don't seem to have any cool tone. It's almost quite radiant and shiny, isn't it? I mean, that is on top of the skin tint, which I haven't rubbed off properly. But I think I will have to go in with a bit of contour, or I will look too warm. I've got my Anastasia Beverly Hills contour here, so I'll do my contour first and then we'll look at that cream bronzer. Without thinking, I've gone ahead and applied my contour the way I like to, which is like a bronzer. But I haven't done it quite so much on the forehead, so I will put more of the bronzer on the forehead and just a tiny bit on my cheeks. Just did that then without thinking. So I'll take the same brush, the F4, but I'll take the bigger end with this bronzer. So you should see more warmth coming now, and I'm just going to take this here. I haven't done the concealer yet. I like to go in with concealer after this, but I might go in with a bit more as a balance at the end. Or maybe try it on top of powder. Probably will, actually. I have tried this bronzer before. This is one of the only things that isn't a first impression. Now I've got their concealer. So this is the Ilia True Skin Serum Concealer, the shade Suma SC1.5, which is also light with cool undertones. So I'm sticking with the same theme here. It's not fair, it's light, which means, oh gosh, that's way too dark for a concealer. I really messed up there. Put a little bit here, just for that sort of peach correction, and a bit here, but I can't use this as a concealer. I've completely messed that shade up. I needed the fair, clearly. Anyway, I'll go in with another concealer. That's a shame. So I can't really test that out, but let's see how it goes in. Beautifully, actually. I've heard a lot of people saying this is a good concealer. I'll probably have to go back and get my shade now because that formula seems really nice. Can you see how much colour I'm getting on my eyelids there? It's almost like I've just added an eyeshadow. But it does seem to be quite correcting, as you'd expect. Colour correcting, concealing, but absorbing into my skin beautifully. No cakiness whatsoever. Obviously I've just put that tiny little bit. I do need now to get some brightness. A little bit too much there under my eye. It's like I've got a tan underneath the eye. So I do have here my RMS concealer, which I've been testing. So I'll put some of that to bring back some brightness and put into all the areas that I need it. So a little bit of a cheat there from the Ilia. So far these formulas are looking really good, and you can see here the RMS concealer is blending beautifully into everything. So and especially this side, because I've got that concoction of the stick plus the tint and the bronzer and the Anastasia Beverly Hills. I'll use a different brush to finish off there now. But everything is blending together beautifully. My skin just feels so nourished and shiny and hydrated. I love it. I will need plenty of powder to get rid of the sort of sticky, tacky feeling, which I've definitely got, but it does feel really nourished. And like everything is talking together very, very well, which is a good sign of a brand that's likely to agree with me. Actually, I'll just use my sponge, I think, on my nose right now. Before I start doing any sort of setting, I do have a few cream cheek and lip products. And I have tried these before, these two. These are the multi-sticks. So I've got these in Tenderly and At Last, which are really nice. But they've sent me a mini as a freebie with my order of another shade, so I think I might try that one today just because it's new. I'll just swatch you the two I've got in case you're interested. And these do work well on lips and cheeks, although I just prefer them more on the cheek. So this one's Tenderly, and then this one is At Last. But let's have a look at Whisper, which I think I've written down. Yeah, it's a peach pink. And they sent me this super cute mini. I love that. That's quite a nice shade actually. So there it is. So let's try that. I think because I do have such a hydrated base, it's not a super creamy stick this, so I think I'm better off using my brush. I'm sticking with the F4, I'm not cleaning off. Things that I would normally do when I'm reviewing, I'm just really doing my makeup the way I would if you weren't here and I was on my own. So the F4 brush pretty much gets used for everything. So you can see by me taking quite a lot of that on my brush, it's not showing it massively, so I'm having to build it up to get it to show, but when it does, it's so natural and beautiful, this formula, and it's blending in really nicely to that base. I love it. And I do look super shiny, and I have turned my lights up quite a bit so you can see what I'm doing today, which always brings a bit more shine. That's my dilemma, you know, with my lighting, is when I keep talking about changing my lighting and trying to find better settings, when I increase the brightness, it increases the shine, and then everyone says I look too shiny, and it's just trying to find that balance is the biggest struggle. So anyway, let me know today with this video, if you could, what you think of the lighting. It's always good to have feedback. Is this bright enough? Is it too shiny for you? If I lower the lighting and I change certain settings, which I won't bore you with because trust me, there's a million, I can lower the shine, but it can also lower the lightness in the face, and then you see less of the makeup. So it looks less complimentary for me, but at the end of the day, you want to see how the makeup works more than anything. That's really nice. I thought that was going to be too warm for me, but it's just right, you know. I really like Whisper. Let's try a bit of that on my lips. And my lips are already hydrated because I've got my usual Delilah lip saviour on, which I always have. It wouldn't glide on that easily without that. Very light on the lips, but it's nice to have the connected look. I always like that. So now I think I'm ready to powder. Oh wait a minute, there's another cheek product. I forgot about this one. This is the Ilia Colour Haze Lip and Cheek. And the shade I've got is called Before Today, Dusty Mauve with Cool Undertones. Let's put a bit of that with it. On both, this is very different. Look at the packaging on this one. So we've got that sort of cooling tip. Let me see the colour. It's quite thick. Very different formula, isn't it, to the multi-stick, and definitely bring in more pigment, which makes me think I need to go with my F4 brush again. Tap it into the back of my hand. Sorry, Florrie's barking at everything today. Might be a Sunday, but that probably means there's more people out walking in our village today. So she's barking at all of them. Again, look how these formulas work together. I mean, it is the same brand. You'd expect it, wouldn't you? But they really do. Let's talk about easy. I'm loving these formulas so far. Florrie, enough! She's naughty, she really is. She has to bark at everything. Oh, I like that. Desperately needing to bring down this shine a bit now though. I'll try a bit of this on the lips. As soon as it looks more like a lip product than a cheek, I think I'll actually apply this direct to the lips. Oh, that's so cooling. Oh, that's lovely. I love that. Obviously that's going on top of the stick. Well, that feels so creamy and beautiful. I love that. Oh, that's a nice duo, you know. And I've got their powder blushes today, so I'm going for triple blush today. Anyway, for now, let's get that off my hand. I'm going to powder down. I don't have any powder from Ilia, so I will stick with my Fenty brightening powder for under my eyes, and I'll powder the rest of my face. And this will give me that pop of brightness I need, because that concealer gave me too much depth. Too much dark brown really for me. Yeah, bringing a bit of brightness for me now. Now I am going to powder the eyes, even though I am going to be going in with an eyeshadow stick. But I'm not going to powder heavily, just a little bit. And for the rest of my face, I'll go on with my YSL loose powder. I'll go with the blue today, which I've nearly run out of. I do have a backup. That's how much I use this. I'm going to powder over everything. So I'm going to lose that shine, but I have to lose that shine because I can't do tackiness. But I'm hoping, like with so many good products like this, it tends to come through the radiance during the day. But I will be going in with the soft blurring, is it called, powder blush, which is quite shiny. So I'll bring back some radiance and shine with the blush at the end. So I said I might add bronzer on top, but I don't really know if I want to. I'll do a tiny bit because I've got the powder now. I don't really want to reintroduce too much in the way of balm. I just want to see if it works, just a tap. Just give you that sort of sun, it's like I've been in the sun look. So it's not cool, but it's also not too warm for me as long as I'm careful. That's all I'll do. I don't really want to add too much of that. But now let's look at these, which I've shown you before, the Soft Focus Blurring Blush. Now this is gorgeous, I know that. They have such a gorgeous finish. They remind me a bit of the Hourglass, but potentially with a bit more of a glow, but not quite as much of a glow as we get with the Fenty Suede, for instance. So let me pick a shade for today. For the ones I've got the Closer, this pink. I've got Flutter. I've got Glimpse, and I've got Breathless. I think I'm going to go with Glimpse because I've already got so much blush on, even though it's now calmed down by the powder. I just want a little bit on the top, and this will give me a bit more radiance back. This is my Refa Holiday brush. I don't have any brushes from Ilia. I don't know if they do brushes even, or if they're any good if they do. If you know, please let me know. Because this is such a light shade, I can be quite generous with it. I love the radiance of these, they are so beautiful. Just build it up a bit more here now. Oh, that is so pretty, isn't it? I love these. They've got to be one of the best blushes that I've launched all year. That's how good they are. super easy to apply and they're just so beautiful. Just look at them. It is gorgeous, it really is. It's not too shiny for mature skin either in terms of exaggerating texture and things. It's just beautiful. I think as well, I might, because I'm just going to be using an eyeshadow pen today on the lid, even though I've already taken this into the eye with the brush, but I want to, with my blusher brush, I think I'm going to use this. Well, I've already started now, not I think. I'm going to use this in the crease. Isn't that a pretty shade for the eyes? It's a very rough application. As I said, this is me just throwing on makeup, not being precise, not trying to be super glam or perfect today. Just playing around and being quick as well. Take a bit of this underneath. I actually really love that on the eyes. So pretty, such a lovely shade this. Now, I don't know if any of these are going to go with what I've just done. See, I've got that sort of slightly peachy pink in the eyes, because the only product I've picked up for the eyes are 3 greens. Is that going to work now? Like, I am playing. We need to keep reminding ourselves this is not perfection, this is playing. So what have I picked up? So I've got a gold olive shimmer, which is Patina. This must be this one. I think this is the one I want to put on, but anyway. Oh no, this is Vignette. This is Seafoam green. Oh gosh, Seafoam green shimmer. I love, love, love Seafoam as a shade. It is so gorgeous. Oh wow. Wow, that is so creamy. So look there at Seafoam, isn't that beautiful? I've got something I've swatched there on my hand. I need to take that off, do that again. So that one is the Vignette, and then I've got a darker one, a golden olive shimmer. This one's the Patina one. This one's much darker. I'm wondering if the two could work together though, but they are both shimmers. So there is Patina. And then I've got a matte mint green. Very predictable, aren't I? Filigree, this one's called. So here is the... Oh, that's lovely too. Oh, Decisions. So there it is. Oh, can I try and use all 3? Can I do a triple green? Oh, let's just try, let's just play a bit. I'll put the matte one on first, like the outer V. Oh, that is such a gorgeous shade, it really is. I'll get my Merit number 2 brush, I think, for this. That's blended up really nicely, and I can feel it starting to dry down, but I've got a reasonable amount of time. I think doing both eyes was probably a mistake though. It's not what I would recommend doing, but I have had time. I quite like the green with that blush, you know. It does work. I think it does anyway. Oh, that's pretty. That is so pretty. Love that shade. Maybe I could run the matte under the eye. All the way across. Oh, I'm loving this. And I think I'll go with the Seafoam green shimmer now across the rest of my mobile lid. Look at this, isn't it beautiful? I love the way it's just gliding onto my skin. It's not tugging, it's not hard at all. It's, oh wow. Oh wow. I love that. That's got to be one of the prettiest eyeshadow sticks I've put on my eyes. Without any exaggeration. Wow, wow, wow. I think that is absolutely stunning. I think I need to do a shorts reel with these. Oh, that is so pretty. And it's quite surprised me how much the blush in the crease to start with, I think is really giving it a nice sort of canvas. Oh, I love it. I can take this all the way to the inner corner actually. I will stop before I actually get in the inner corner, and then I'll use my Merit brush to blend it out, but it doesn't really need much work at all. These are brilliant for one and dones. Oh, that is stunning. I love it. Can you see how excited I am by these shades? Especially the Seafoam. So somehow I need to try and incorporate golden olive shimmer. So I think what I'll do is put it just here as a sort of wing, and then close to the lash line. I want to keep this look light. That works. Oh yes. And this is so easy. It's just using the sort of tip. So creamy and so easy. These are gorgeous. I'm definitely thinking of going back for more shades now, because I think these are really good. First impressions, I think these could be one of the best eyeshadow pens I've used, honestly. The pigment, the way they spread, you know, sometimes with these formulas they can look a bit pasty as you apply more, and they all start to sort of bunch up, and they start off good and then they start to look cakey and pasty and crumbly, and you get patches. These are messing around with formulas here, so it's powder, matte, you know, the powder blush, then the matte eyeshadow pen, and now the shimmer, and they're just working together, sitting on top of each other, just like with the face makeup. Everything is playing together so nicely. Oh, I love it. I'm just leaving it there. I don't want to do anything else. I love the fact that that was such a fast eye look that I absolutely love. And I don't want any eyeliner. That's enough for me. Unless, did I get an eyeliner? No, I don't think I did. Let me just put some, I did get a mascara, so I'll just curl my lashes and then we can look at the mascara, which I think I've got in a brown shade. The Ilia Limitless Lash Before Dawn in rich brown, and this one has been recommended to me before. Obviously it's day one testing of a mascara. I do prefer a curved one these days. That doesn't mean this won't work for me. Come on camera, let me focus please. There we go, finally. So it's not a classic round. Let's just try it. You have to make sure you've got the right edge of the comb hitting you, because it's sort of 4 different edges, if you know what I mean, rather than a smooth barrel. I prefer a smooth barrel, and I also prefer a curved one. So it's not ticking those 2 boxes, and it feels quite wet, but it's not clumpy. It's pretty separating. I'm not wowed by the application of this, to be honest. Like when I put my Hourglass, the new one from Hourglass, or I put the Lancome or Lisa Eldridge, instantly my ridiculously small lashes start to climb a little bit, and it's not happening with this, but it is day one. I might have a very different view by day 3 or 4, so first day, this is just okay. I stopped filming for a second to finish these lashes, and I went in for a second coat, and I thought it looked so much better with the second coat, so let me show you with this side. Huge difference for me. Whether you'll actually see this, because I never managed to film it in a way you can see, because my lashes are so short. Can you see I'm getting much more of a lift there than I did the first time, and a bit more thickness as well, so I actually much prefer that on the second time, and I don't usually go in for a second, but certainly for the first day application. This one for me needs that. Editing me here, just to tell you, this did not smudge by the end of the day and felt very comfortable on me. In fact, nothing seemed to move during the day. When I went to bed 12 hours after applying this makeup, in fact more like 14, it still looked really, really good. And I did apply the setting spray, the one size melt, the powder melt setting spray when I finished the whole application, but I don't think I mentioned it in this video, so I just wanted to mention it now. Everything sat and stayed looking beautiful all day, no caking. It still looked radiant. It didn't have particularly strong oils coming through. Maybe I needed to powder a tiny bit in the T-zone by the end of the day, but nothing major. I'm superbly impressed with the longevity and the performance of all of these products, to be honest with you. It didn't move in my eyes either. Second coat, and it becomes a lot more of an impressive mascara with that second coat. I much prefer that. I definitely did a lot more. So there we are. I'm pretty much finished now. I think the only thing left to do is some lips. So I've got, let me take off the stuff I've already put on my lips. I've got a liner here. This is the Pink Door, this is the shade Lip Sketch Hydrating Crayon. So I presume you can do whole lips with this. It's one of these really thick ones. And I also have a gloss. So let's try out Lip Sketch. Nice and creamy. Whilst the pencil is quite chunky, it's very easy to use as a liner. I like this shade. Not very good for moving into the autumn, but I want to see how pigmented my gloss is. Otherwise I might fill my lips with that. I'm just trying to rub off the eyeshadow pens off the back of my hand. I'm scrubbing like mad with the white and they're not coming off that easily, so that's a very good sign that my eye look should be lasting all day. So the lip gloss I've got is a Balmy gloss, which is a tinted lip oil. The shade I've got is Linger, and that is a berry mauve, so let me see that. Oh yeah, there's a lot of pigment with this. So I will just leave the liner there. I'm not sure the liner works with this shade actually, but anyway. Oh, that's pretty. That's a lovely shade. I love that. Oh, that is lovely. So I've got that slightly warmer, cooler liner, and then I've got a deeper lip. I'm not sure if that's the reverse of what I would normally do really, but anyway. I'm not unhappy with that. Oh, that is lovely. Very, very creamy, but not too thick. Not gloopy at all. Beautiful colour. That's a lovely, lovely formula. And that's everything I've got to try, I think. Yeah. I have to say, first impressions of a brand is excellent. Really excellent. I mean, I have tried Ilia a tiny bit, like we said. I've tried the multi-stick and I've tried that beautiful blush that launched, the powder blush that launched this year, and that's what made me go into Ilia more, because I was so impressed with them. I haven't tried Ilia until then, and I was so impressed, I thought I've got to go for more. And I am super impressed, super impressed. I think that this is so easy. The formulas are so creamy and complementary with each other. You can, from what I've seen, you can get anything from Ilia and just pile them on together, mix them up. They just love each other, as they should, I suppose, but they really do in a way that a lot of other brands don't quite achieve, I think. The eyeshadow sticks, potentially one of the best formulas I've applied to my eyes, and this shade, the Seafoam green, one of the nicest shades I've ever got in an eyeshadow stick. I think it is stunning. All of the blush formulas are fabulous, but particularly that powder one. I liked, if I got to stand out, I think there is one product I'd say I wasn't a big fan of, and that was this one. The, not the multi-stick, the Skin Rewind Complexion Stick. So I don't know how this is really fully intended to be used, maybe just for light touch-ups or for very light coverage. I don't think it works as well for me as, say, the Merit, but otherwise, the only thing I haven't done, I've just realised, is I haven't dipped into my Tom Ford. What's going on with me? My black diamond. How have I not finished off the eyes? with a little bit of white here. But yeah, everything I've tried other than that complexion stick has been a big wow for me. I think that this brand is very, 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 very good and definitely worth considering. I was able to buy all of these from the Ilia website here in the UK, but I think you can also get Ilia from maybe Cult Beauty, is it, or Sephora? I can't remember actually off the top of my head. And as I said, I'm not reading up on stuff today. I'm just sitting here. I've got my best friend coming over today for a chat, and I haven't seen her for ages, and I just wanted to get my makeup on, and I thought, why not have a quick chat with you whilst I get ready? And that's basically what I've done. So no reading up on products, no making this complicated, we're just trying this on together. But wow, very impressed. So have you tried anything from Ilia? Oh god, what have I dropped now? Just dropped one of my Victoria Beckham beautiful blushes, but it survived. Anyway, have you tried anything from Ilia? I would love to hear your thoughts. Have I tried anything that you love, that you don't like, that you're thinking of trying? Do you have any tips for me on things from Ilia that I should try? I have to say, this has told me that from now on, when Ilia launch a new product, I'm going to be checking it out because I'm super impressed. I absolutely love everything I've tried apart from that complexion stick. Very, very, very pleased. The concealer obviously was the wrong shade, but formula, fantastic. Everything is just sitting perfectly. I love it. And how quick and easy was that? It was a half-an-hour makeup. I'm not having to, there are sections of this that have been edited out, but they are minimal sections, trust me. This has been one of the quickest full face makeup applications I've done in a while. So they just work together so easy. I didn't need to make corrections, I didn't need to fix things. Like the eyes, I can't believe how quickly the eyes went on, no problem. I love it. So Ilia, wow, up there with one of the best, I reckon. I think that's genuinely how much I loved it. So I'm very, very, very pleased I did this, and consider me an Ilia fan from now on. If you've enjoyed this video though, I would love to hear from you. Hit the like button if you could, that would be really kind of you. And if you're not subscribed, I would love it ever so much if you did subscribe. But if you're already subscribed, thank you so much for being here at the end of one of my videos. I really appreciate every single one of you, and I really hope to see all of you again for my next video. Take care everybody, bye.